Welcome to The Crows Show, brought to you by Hungry Jacks. Coming up, Sid Draper's fast track from draft to debut. Ebony Marinoff does some Drury duty, and we recap yesterday's Bombers clash. First up, there are a lot of new faces at Adelaide in 2025. One of them is former Giant James Peatling.
It's good to not get booed when you run out, so that's always a bonus. So yeah, it was electric, the atmosphere running out into AO, and I loved it and I can't wait to get used to it. Yeah, definitely a few exciting, bit of nervous energy at the start, but yeah, I loved it.
Handball to Peatling, another goal. Two in quick succession for the Crows.
All the jumper presentations and stuff start happening, so yeah, your mind's pretty occupied, so it was good.
James Peatling.
Mum and Dad, obviously, and then a mate and his partner from Melbourne, who I'm very close with, so it was a pleasure to have them to come over, and then just a few other family friends and mates as well. And then obviously my partner was in Adelaide, so she was there as well. Week to week it changes, but yeah, majority midfield. Bit forward, we have the ability with the people we have in there at the moment to sort of spin the wheels, which is good, and just seeing how we're going on the day and what's working and stuff will probably depend a little bit of how much midfield time versus forward time we have. It's probably exceeded my expectations, to be honest. I come in pretty open-minded and didn't really know what to expect, but I knew there was some little pockets of stuff that I wouldn't have seen before being on the East Coast, which was really cool. So obviously York and sort of those areas down south as well, past McLaren Vale, and then obviously the hills and stuff like that was really cool.
Sid Draper is a teenager in a hurry. In a matter of months, he's gone from draft to debut and has pace to burn.
We got there, mate. We got there in the end.
UH camera you've got going. I'll just get everyone to check under their chair for me quick. There may be an envelope under someone's chair. Just check. If you've got one, just come out the front.
Player 266. I'm pretty sure.
What does that mean?
When I saw Nigel come in and I looked over to Mum and Dad, and I could tell it was massive for them, and as much as it is for me, because they were there for the 98 grand final, I think, or the 97, and when he was playing, and it really hit me. It's, they're lifelong Crows fans as much as I am, and they've been there since the start of the journey, sacrificing so much for me, so much time, so much dedication, and to have my brothers there as well, and extended family and friends, it just made it so much more special, and because they're all people that have played their part in helping me get to where I am today.
Draper, first possession of a final term, the 18-year-old on debut.
And I knew I was playing that sub role, so I knew I'd be getting on the field a little bit later, and that sort of eased tension a little bit. But when it got to the actual day and everything, the nerves started to build up a bit. But leading into it, I was fine. I found it was freezing. Like, I was a lot colder than what I expected it to be. It was like a mini ice bath of getting it poured on, but yeah, singing the song, what a moment. I can't really describe it, because you see it on TV when you're younger, them singing the song, and you're a part of it now, and just such a special moment, and everyone there supporting the players, it was just amazing.
What a beast.
Absolute beast. Oh, we'll get started. Wayno, we're in the Toyota BZ4X, the electric car. What do you reckon?
It's bloody nice, isn't it? Very quiet.
Quiet, big interface. It's all happening.
We're in a bloody brand new one too, not even 1,000 Ks on it.
Yeah, I better not do anything too. I better not do anything too out in the ordinary. Just drive safely. You just played your 100th game.
It was probably more so just good to get back out playing, and with the boys, and then we probably haven't won a round one in a few years now too. So.
Nah, it's been a while, yeah. It's probably since 2021.
Yeah, so that was a good start though.
And Carter loved the game as well, loved the experience, got to run out, got to be around the boys.
He loved it. He was in there before in the change room just was warming up, and then got to lead the boys out, which was pretty nice. But as I was going to bed, I sort of asked him, "Oh, did you enjoy running out?" He says to me, "Yeah, Dad, but I wanted to play the whole game."
What if one of the big boys tackles you?
Yeah, I did say that to him. I said, "Oh, what happens if someone tries to tackle you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll just tackle them back."
Little Carter. Well, 100 games means he's eligible for father-son, so not getting ahead of ourselves, but
It would be pretty nice to see, mate. Hopefully one day he can pull on the crows jumper as well, and I'll be sitting in the stands watching him play. So that'd be pretty cool.
Really, really cool, mate. While we're on family, obviously you're a South Australian boy. We were the same draft actually. In 2015, you were pick 11 from. Tell us a bit about where you came from, where you did your junior footy, because you are a South Australian, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've lived in Adelaide like my whole life, out in the northern suburbs. So I played for Central Districts, had some good times there growing up, and it was actually good because first time this pre-season we went out and did a couple of training
sessions. We did too,
together.
that's
so
right.
It was pretty cool to go back and spend some time out on the oval and show all the boys sort of where I grew up or spent most of my teenage years training and playing. It was sort of like my second home, that place.
Yeah.
For a bit there, so.
Junior, that was a great chat, mate.
Thank you very much.
Congrats once again. It was a pleasure being out there with your brother, and you're absolutely bringing so much to the group, so can't wait for next week.
Bloody oath, can't wait for it. Thanks for having me.
And get you one of these bad boys.
Yeah, maybe get one of these.
The SANFL season starts next weekend, and former Adelaide big man Sam Jacobs will again coach the Eagles. But Sauce hasn't left the Crows altogether.
Yeah, I'm still connected with the club. I'm currently chairman of the past players and officials, which is a great way to stay connected, especially with all the past players. We want to keep them involved, and officials as well. So, and then I also sit on the History and Tradition Committee and on the Heritage Committee. So still definitely linked within the club, which is great, and it's good to be able to come back here and contribute still. I love having the connection with the footy club. I think just being a life member as well, I'm always drawn here, and I guess spending 9 years as a player and another 3.5 as an administrator, you're always sort of tied here. So Crows will certainly always be home, and as my kids get older, I look forward to bringing them along to games and all that sort of stuff. So obviously footy's a big part of my life, and that won't ever change. Coaching's great. I think once I retired, I really missed, striving or working towards a goal. I love my job here and all that sort of stuff, but you just sort of did your job, and how good you were at it was sort of, how far you wanted to take it. So I love being back in the competitive world of coaching and trying to help, my players and the club be as best as we can. I think just the relationships and just seeing guys develop. I really take my hat off to the guys at SANFL level. Obviously, my previous life, you do it professionally, but these guys are working during the day, training at night, and the amount of stuff we ask them to do is quite amazing, and I just get a lot of joy out of watching them improve and get better. And I guess the other part is a lot of them are pathway players, so they come through our junior grades and progress to seniors. And seeing a couple of my players get drafted is obviously fantastic. If not, it's great to see them become really good league players. Yeah, it did. Just because I'm just such a footy nuffy. Like, I could watch footy and talk about footy 24/7. So, yeah, it is. And obviously, you try your best not to ride the ups and downs of wins and losses, and try and stay, nice and level for the players and all that sort of stuff. I'm getting a lot better at sort of filtering the stuff that isn't as important, and because we're so short on time, putting time into stuff that is really important. The SANFL is a terrific competition. Obviously, it's a premier competition outside the AFL, which is great, and you know, obviously being able to have a full-time job in that, it shows you how big the competition is as well. So, you know, there's a lot of rich history in the club. It's got a massive imprint on South Australian footy, and yeah, I love being a part of it, and it's a fantastic competition.
Welcome to Adelaide, Blake. Come from North Melbourne after being delisted as a rookie and then find yourself with the sample team at the Crows.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been good to be here. Feel like I'm settling in really well, and yeah, I'm loving it over here so far.
How have you settled in? Who are you living with?
So initially I was living with Josh Rochelle, Jake Saligo and Luke Nankervis, who were really good in giving me somewhere to stay early days, and recently I've moved in with Luke Pedler and Jimmy Rowe, which has been good fun. So
you touched on Josh Rochelle. You played a little bit of junior footy with him back in the day?
Yeah, at Corford Grammar. I love playing with him. We sort of rotate mid-forward, keep switching together and stuff. So yeah, played a fair bit of footy with him. So it was good to already know him coming over here.
Why Adelaide?
Initially I just was after a little bit of a change, and Adelaide gave me the opportunity to do all my training with the AFL group, which I feel is really important for my development to do a whole another year like in an AFL program. So I think that was probably the main point, and then obviously the sample as well was a pretty strong league, and I just sort of wanted to try something new. So I think yeah, ultimately I was just after a bit more of a challenge, but the opportunity to train with the AFL group was certainly a big reason why I came.
You've had a taste of being on an AFL list and debuting. What's the motivation to get back at AFL?
Yeah, I'm very grateful for North Melbourne for giving me an opportunity for a couple of years. I learned a lot about my game in that time. I probably don't think I was ready to be playing regularly at the time, but I feel like I've learned a lot about my game and progressed a lot. This has been my first full pre-season. I think I've got a lot of room for growth and a lot of work to be done, but I think I'm in a good spot, and yeah, like I said before, my motivation's super high to get back on the list.
And obviously spending majority of your life in Melbourne, is Adelaide what you thought it would be?
Yeah, I think so. I'd been to Adelaide before, but I probably underestimated how nice the beaches are here. I really love the beach. So
I think we blessed you with some hot weather over the summer.
Yeah, I don't know if it was blessed because my skin tone doesn't really handle it too well, but yeah, it has been hot.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me, Blake.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Noffy.
Well, now it's time for the 7 News Distant Replay. Now, let's take a look back at how 7 News covered major moments in Crows history.
They're bound to become a collector's item by the end of the match.
The end of an era at West Lakes, with players and fans alike not knowing quite what to expect next.
You're sorry to see him go?
Yep.
Why is that?
Because we won 2 grand finals.
Bit disappointed? Yeah. Sorry to see him go? Yeah, very much.
Very sad. We got seated in the aisle, so we're going to see him running up. I'm very excited about that.
He's obviously done a lot for the club, and obviously if Gary Ayres gets the job, everyone will be looking forward to it as well.
Then the coach drove into Football Park for one last time, to be swamped by photograph requests and autograph hunters. 2 premierships, enough to make him forever a legend of the Adelaide Football Club.
How you feeling, Malcolm?
Yeah, good, mate.
Yeah? A bit overwhelmed by all that?
Oh, it's good.
Do you think it's Malcolm Blight's final coaching day?
Oh, at this stage of my life, it certainly is.
One final day at the office and his work was done, but he didn't forget the fans.
That is magnificent, Blighty. That's what they wanted to see. He's done exactly as he's done throughout his football career, done the unexpected, the unpredictable. And it hasn't been a great year for Crow supporters, but this has been worth the season.
Don't forget, 7 News is your home ground for everything AFL.
First started playing in Broken Hill for the North Broken Hill Bulldogs. Early memories was being cold, but still just absolutely loving being out there with all my mates, playing footy early on a Saturday morning, and then, you know, obviously as the years got on, you know, winning, singing that song after the game in the change rooms with your best mates was, yeah, pretty special. You know, junior football clubs play a massive part in making sure sort of kids stick around, not only to play, but, you know, just to make sure they're enjoying themselves. And, you know, I think the North Football Club did a really, really good job at that because, yeah, there's not many upset kids at the footy club. Yeah, massively. I mean, Broken Hill's only got four teams in the comp, so as you could imagine, you verse the Oppo a fair bit across the year. But regardless of all that, everyone is super proud to play for their football club, even if it is, a 4-team comp, and it's something as a town we're really proud of as well. I mean, I think at the end of the day is just to enjoy it. Football is a competitive game and everyone talks about, wins and losses, but I think as a kid, if you're enjoying it, then, it doesn't matter how you play at the end of the day. Everyone will learn and get better, but as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, happy days.
Next week, the Kangaroos come to Adelaide Oval, and here's 3 things I'll be keeping an eye on. The first is Tristan Cherry, one of the game's best ruckmen who has had an incredible rise over the last 12 months. Not only does he win his share of hit-outs, but he also plays like an extra midfielder, getting after the ball when it hits the ground. So this means Riley O'Brien is going to play a pivotal role for Adelaide, and it also shows the expectation now for ruckmen is they have to do more than just get hit-outs. And that feeds into my next point, which is North Melbourne's increased depth in the midfield. Simpkin and Davies-Uniacke have always been in there, but when you add youngsters McKercher and O'Sullivan to an experienced recruit like Luke Parker, and their depth looks much better. Increased depth means you can compete for longer, and that's been one of the key issues for the Kangaroos. Whilst North have struggled to stop teams from scoring, their front half does look much more dangerous. The arrival of the experienced Jack Darling can only help the likes of Nick Larkey and Cam Zerha. Larkey is an All-Australian and has started the season very well, so I suspect Mark Keane will get the big job. And I really like the look of small forward Paul Curtis, who seems to get better and better each week. In a tight season, all home games are crucial, and this one is one that Adelaide can't afford to drop. And thanks to Toyota, if you take a photo of yourself or a friend at one of our games and post it to social media, make sure you use the hashtag WeFlyers1. This week's lucky fan is you. Please email faceinthecrowd@afc.com.au with photo ID to claim your prize of 2 tickets to Toyota's exclusive Hilux Hill at Adelaide Oval. That's it for today's show. We'll be here every Sunday at 11 a.m. Bye for now. Today's show was brought to you by Hungry Jacks.